have 2 minutes.
Waiting for water to boil.
I just said, when you're sitting here just watching.
I can see your clock in the background, Rachel.
It's not moving fast either.
Yeah, I know.
Well, because there's no public comment, we don't need to.
No, it's 6:30.
Because there's no public comment, we don't need to name off people, right?
Because there's, hold on.
Because there's no public comment. Good evening and welcome to the April 7th, 2020 committee meeting. Mrs. Martin, may I have a roll call, please?
Yes, please respond when I call your name. Gray?
Here.
Gray?
Here.
Erdman?
Here.
Erdman?
Here.
Fowler?
Here.
Marlowe?
Here.
Murray? Fine?
Here.
Sekelic?
Here.
Nom?
Here.
Bucks?
Here.
All present.
Thank you. This meeting is being recorded. I want to publicly announce that the board met for executive session on March 10th to discuss personnel issues. The board met virtually for executive session on March 19th to discuss school safety. And the board met virtually on April 2nd briefly to discuss the functionality of Zoom meetings and ensure connection of all board members. There was no discussion or deliberation at that April 2nd meeting. To all those joining us virtually, we thank you for attending this meeting in our temporary virtual format. This new virtual format is uncharted territory for our board meetings. We have had many conversations in hopes to avoid potential problems and hopefully make these virtual meetings run smoothly. We are learning, and we thank you for your patience as we adapt and move forward to continue serving Northern Redmond together. Please know that all webinar community member participants will remain on mute during the meeting unless they have put in a request to speak during the public comment period. I want to acknowledge the incredible amount of hard work and dedication that has been invested in adapting to this constantly changing pandemic challenge to continue serving our students. I'm sure that our superintendent, Dr. Messinger, did not expect to be working through a pandemic and the million challenges that presents during his first year as superintendent. If you aren't already aware, he has been working tirelessly to thoughtfully lead Northern Lebanon through these unprecedented challenges. I am thankful for his excellent leadership. I am also thankful for the other team members of the school board for their continued commitment, communication, and teamwork throughout these challenges. Our administration continues to adapt to these changing times as well. They have been working hard developing and adapting education plans, communicating with colleagues and teachers, and addressing the challenges therein. And our teachers. Our teachers are learning skills and teaching techniques that they probably do not ever imagine they would ever need to use in K through 12 teaching. But our teachers are dedicated and talented, and they are learning new skills quickly. In these times of social isolation, they are communicating and connecting with their students. They will continue to teach and impact students. There are likely other groups that I do not know to mention by name, and I apologize for that. But I know that many, many groups have been working hard through these challenges, and we appreciate their dedication to our school and community. And parents. These changing times in education are not easy on parents either. We thank parents for your patience as we adapt, for your assistance in helping your students connect virtually, and for your collaboration as we overcome these challenges ahead of us. To all involved in helping the learning continue, I thank you. We as a board, thank you. I am inspired and proud of the creativity, dedication, and hard work that I have seen coming from Northern Lebanon during these past weeks. Our kids will continue learning. We will get to the other side of this pandemic, and our kids will see that we stood together as a school community, serving others and working together to work through these challenges. Our kids are watching us, and they will remember. We will begin our meeting with the public comment period. But Mrs. Martin, there are no public comments this evening, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. With no public comment, then we will move to item number 4, resolution in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. This resolution is necessary because it allows us to meet virtually, which of course is necessary to ensure the health of all involved. May I have a motion to adopt the resolution as presented?
So moved.
Second.
And a second.
David,
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we will move to the vote. This is a unanimous roll call vote. Your vote will be recorded in the affirmative unless you say nay or I abstain. The motion has passed. The minutes shall note that public notice was given for the meeting in accordance with Act 84 of 1983. Notices and advisements of these meetings will carry the intent that limited business may be conducted on any scheduled meeting date. Next, we move to item number 6, items on our consent calendar. Dr. Messinger.
Sorry, unmute. The first 3 items are our normal approval of minutes, student activity account, and cash disbursements for the month of March.
Are there any questions or discussion? All right, moving to item number 7, budget and finance. Dr. Messinger.
Yeah, we have several items here. One is the approval of the IU budget for the 2021 fiscal year. 2, Director Murray is serving in the capacity of IU board member. Her term expires on June 30th, 2020, so we will need a nomination for that. 3, approve the independent contractor agreement with Mrs. Sally Pullis. This is an annual agreement. She provides speech services for us. She's been contracted the past multiple years, and we do a partial contract for her each year. D is the fiber cabling project. That was scheduled prior to this closure. However, is still being reimbursed. 70% of this number is being reimbursed. The amount is $31,000, but 70% of that is reimbursed through E-rate, and they're replacing our fiber cabling. And then 4, approve and ratify the service agreement with WellSpan Philhaven Child Adolescent Day Treatment Program, which will be a 5-year service agreement. But we will need a board member for Stacy's position.
Should we decide that now? Would anybody like to step up into that role, or Stacy, would you like to continue in that role? To serve on the IU board?
I have really enjoyed serving on the IU board. I would be happy to continue, but I would also be happy for somebody else to do it. I've learned a tremendous amount, and I sort of feel like if somebody else would want to do it, I would happily give that to someone else, because it's been such a great experience for me. So, you know, if nobody else wants to do it, I'm happy to continue in that capacity, but I'm also happy for somebody else to be given the opportunity to do it. It's really been the highlight of my time on the board. So I'd be happy for somebody else to do that as well. It's an opportunity to work with the other 22 county. There's a board member from every school district in the 22 school districts that serve Loveland and Lancaster. So it's just a really great way to connect and network with other schools, see what other schools are doing. Certainly the IU13 is has some wonderful leadership, and so it's just it's been a joy for me to serve. So if anybody else wants to do that, I'd be happy to allow someone else that experience. But I'd be happy to keep doing it too. So.
All right, thank you, Director Murray. I guess then if anybody else has interest in serving there on the IU board, send me an email. Is that okay? Send me an email in the next day or two. And if not, then we are happy to have Director Murray continue serving on our IU board. Are there any other comments on budget and finance? All right, then we'll move to item number 8, that is buildings and grounds. Dr. Messinger? Oh, there are any items.
No items.
All right, item number 9, extracurricular committee.
Yeah, some student recognition. In honor of music, I'll read this to you. In honor of music in our schools, the April board meeting originally would have featured performances from Modern Band Club and our district and county chorus band and orchestra festival participants. We'd like to recognize the following students for excellence in musical performance. For county chorus, Lindsay Kaiser and Brett Wilson. For county orchestra, Isaac England, Caitlin Tipton, and Kate Wilson. For county band, Lindsay Kaiser, Gavin Long, Angel Sanders, Caitlin Tipton, and Kate Wilson. For district chorus, Lindsay Kaiser. For district band, Lindsay Kaiser, Gavin Long, Angel Sanders, and Caitlin Tipton. And for Region 5 band, Caitlin Tipton. Also want to recognize the 2019-20 Lady Viking basketball team that earned a spot in the Elite 8 of the PIAA State Championship Tournament. Understand that PIAA has not canceled that tournament yet, so I think Coach Battistelli is still holding a slim hope for playing Lancaster Catholic in June. I don't know that will happen, but we'll see. Want to recognize those student athletes for excellence in sportsmanship, dedication, and teamwork. Also, an item from, we were supposed to go to Spain in June. I'm sad to say we are not going to Spain in June. We have worked with EF Tours to postpone the Spain trip, which was scheduled for June 9th until June 2021. at this time. So we're going to try to postpone that.
Any questions on those items? All right, moving on to item 10, our curriculum items. Dr. Messinger?
Yeah, it's a final adoption of the policies listed there and the tentative adoption of policies, the 3 policies that are listed. I want to draw attention to the one is a disposal policy. We jumped ahead to hit that one due to we're putting items on the board agenda for disposal that have a value of $15, $20. So we put a dollar amount to avoid the constant barrage of items that go on the agenda and raise that and just tweak that at this point.
Any questions regarding those items? All right, moving on to item 11, human relations.
Yeah, we have 2 leave requests that are there for you to approve. Also, we have a custodian at Lickdale. Ronald Barshinger is retiring effective June 30th. He's I don't know the number of years, but I know he's been around for a long time for us. Also, we will be bringing to you a name for our assistant business manager at the next meeting on the 14th. And we also have 2 students for technology department summer work crew that are listed there.
Is the technology summer work crew a new thing?
Now, we've had students in the past, but we didn't put them on with the cleaning crew. We were still working through the interviews and applicants.
Any questions or comments on those items? And moving on to our last item for this evening, Dr. Messinger has an informational item for us.
Yeah, I sent you an update or a PowerPoint from Crabtree about their process for the feasibility study. And next week we'll be talking about budget, and there are just a lot of things up in the air right now, obviously with the closure. We don't have concrete numbers from the state at this point, and we had a projection based on normal circumstances. Certainly this could impact it. There's potential legislation to even push back the budget timeline. And all of that also seems, it's not, the study that we were going to have done involved a lot of public input. And while Crabtree does have some virtual things that they could do that potentially, even when we are going full strength in a normal situation, we might utilize their technology. One of the pieces that was really important was the collection of information from the public and giving them the opportunity to talk and getting their vision for where we're headed. And obviously that is not something that we can currently do. So I wanted to get the board's thoughts on, I think at this point, I would recommend that we look at just postponing. We can delay the timeline. I did have our solicitor take a look at the agreement prior to this board meeting to see whether or not delaying or extending that timeline would be an issue. We seem to be fine there. That was the standard stock and leader agreement that they had presented to us. But before we bring you that agreement, I do believe that we should probably delay the timeline until we can more properly talk with our community. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. Would love to hear comments or thoughts.
Yeah, I would fully agree. I think we need to wait.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. I'd like to wait as well. I think give a little more time to get some more stable conditions to seek our next steps.
I also think with the uncertainty that's economic that relates to our district, any feasibility study that were to be done today, I think would be irrelevant. just because we don't know what the impacts are going to be. I guess the question that I have is, are we talking about a 12-month delay or some shorter form of delay? Because I know that a lot of these calendars are sort of backward planned from a potential in-service date of a new facility. So are we talking about a 12-month delay or some other modification of the schedule?
I'd like to go to them and talk about what the options are there from a timeline perspective. I think it's too early to say a 12-month delay because we don't know enough about what the financial, I can guess, but I don't know enough about the financial impact and where we're going to be come June, come July. I'll talk with Crabtree about about what that looks like and how that would transpire. I don't know that the feasibility study would need to be delayed an entire year because you can do the study, gather the input, come up with a proposal, and then, but the timing of when all that starts, that may be different. And I also don't know, while construction is allowed in some cases, who knows where construction companies will be on their timelines as well. That's a whole, what used to take place, what used to, they used to do in a certain time frame may not be the case right now. I'm not sure if everybody's operating on full steam and able to do projects in the time that they are currently scheduled. So those are questions I think yet to be determined.
Yeah, that's a good point. My understanding from the law is that current construction projects are allowed to continue. The ones that haven't broken ground yet are not permitted to. So I'm sure they are going to be, as it stands now, at least a month behind on planned projects. That probably pushes everything for them.
Okay, well, I'll proceed with that plan then. But I do want to be, I know that was the last thing. I do want to recognize that Michelle did some thank yous. I also want to recognize Mets and their employees. I tell you, they're doing, 250 meals twice a week. And it's more than that because it's 3 days or 4 days. So, it's 250 times 4 breakfasts and 4 lunches. And so you're talking about 2,000 total meals that they're putting together. They're doing a great job. I think we were close to 300 today, I believe, and they're working hard. They're here early in the morning, and they've done a great job, as has everyone, administration, teachers. I'll echo what Michelle said, but I wanted to make sure I specifically mentioned that, just to bring that to your attention.
Thank you for mentioning them, Dr. Messinger. I agree that they are doing a great service to our community by assembling these meals. Does anybody else have any comments or questions for this evening?
I'll add one more thing. Next week, we will be bringing to you our continuity of education plan, which also needs to be turned into the state and posted on the website, which we'll take care of. There is a board policy on planned instruction, and the policy that we have on planned instruction and for graduation, the graduation requirements, I should say, are not going to be the norm. And so therefore, we're going to have to, I'll have to bring that to you for approval. And we'll do that for the 14th meeting. We'll get that on the agenda. But we do have, I think, a plan in place. We finished it today for graduation. I'll give you just a brief example of something that's going to be difficult. Students that were still working on community service hours are in a position to not be able to go out and do those community service hours. So that's a condition that at this point we're looking to waive. So things like that, in order to not penalize them, we'll bring that to your attention next week.
Thank you for that update. Any other comments? All right, then we hope that you all stay socially isolated and healthy and well. And our next meeting is next Tuesday, April 14th. We hope to see you virtually via Zoom. Stay well.